Don't bump the table.
Yeah, let's definitely
Don't
not bump this table.
Oh,
yes,
my goodness.
As you throw your heavy phone on the table. Welcome back, everybody. New location, Chatty Madi Monday, season.
Yep.
Season 5, episode 14. We are back where it all began, kind of.
Yeah. We're in the same room. A little bit of echo going.
Okay, we're not in the same room. This used to be Micah and Joshua's room. So it started in my room. No, it started in the basement. Came up to my room.
Mm-hmm.
Then we shipped it off. And now we're back.
Yep.
Happy Monday, everybody. We hope you had a fantastic weekend. Last weekend we were at Jackson Motorplex for the Bank Midwest Jackson Nationals. Man, that would be a track that I hope that you and Mom can go to. Because what an amazing facility. What an awesome racing. That was this last weekend. I wish it would have been a 2-day show. Mother Nature had other plans, but man, what a great night of racing on Saturday last weekend.
I was looking forward to getting home and turning it on. And when I turned it on, I saw
nothing. Rain canceled. Well, and then you called me. We were actually in the middle of date night because I had gotten the call that we were canceling it right as I was leaving work, and Preston was on his way to pick me up. And I was like, okay, well, now what do we do? So we actually had a date night Friday night. Drove out there Saturday morning. It was about a 6-hour drive to Jackson. It is like directly west.
Is there a straight shot?
Yes, it was about 200 and some miles down one highway. I did not drive. Preston did. But it was a really good weekend. I would definitely hope to be back in 2026, which is crazy to say that we're already talking about 2026. I feel like we were just talking about things we were doing in 2025.
Yeah, the time of the year that we're in right now made for good car count. I mean, probably even could have had a few more if the weather would have cooperated both definitely. Nights, And the track sure came around by the time it was all done. Yeah, I think it was a fantastic night of racing. We will talk about that in just a little bit. We would love to welcome everybody here to our show. If you're watching on YouTube, it is brand new. Grandma Reichert, if you're listening from YouTube, you can watch Chatty Madi Monday live on YouTube. If you've missed it, you can. I think we actually have a comment from YouTube. What a great racing year. Hi, David. Welcome to the show. You can watch this show live on YouTube. It's just Chatty Madi News. It is a great way to watch Chatty Madi Monday. If you're listening from West Irwin with Living Like Outlaws, happy to be part of his Monday night program as well. And he will be back for Angel Park Speedway the second week of October with the World of Outlaws. In case you've missed it, they were going to go to Angel Park and it rained out. So they rescheduled that race in October. That one might be pretty chilly. Yeah, and it was interesting to see they're coming back to Angel Park. When I saw that pop up on the schedule, I thought, they're coming back through Wisconsin. That's nice to see. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, if it plays well with them, it might be a good idea because actually they were heading to 34 the night before. So it's a good way to swing back through the Midwest and on their way wherever else they are attending the rest of their season as they wrap up their season as well, I believe. Yeah, that's probably after this weekend. Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's entirely another opportunity for any of the our IRA regulars to flex their muscles one more time. As much as I would love to see Bill Baylog, another Wisconsin represent, it would be amazing to have another Travis Aarons moment where a Wisconsin regular shows the Outlaws where it's at. Yeah, and that track, that's a pretty good track for people to show some upsets. It can be narrow, it can be wide, it can be full of English. Right? You're never quite sure what you're going to get. But it's definitely one of my favorite tracks on our tour as well for the IRA Sprint Car Series. We are done running there this season, but you can check it out with the World of Outlaws as well. Make sure you comment where you are listening from. We'd love to hear where you are checking in from. But we are so excited to have you on Monday night as Season 5 of Chatty Madi Monday, presented by Design Metal Art, kind of winds down. Yeah, we kind of need more decoration in this room. I know. I'm going to have to... that's like... jazzed up. Chatty Madi Studio North. Yeah, we'll have to do something. It would be cool to get like pictures and the wing panels and a Design Metal Art, a bunch of other memorabilia behind us. We've got how many? We've got 4 professional plating Chatty Madi boards. I thought about bringing that to school as like my show and tell item. I don't know if I want my kids knowing my Hannah Montana name. you know what I mean? They're 4th graders. I don't know if I want that to happen either. But we will get rolling on with our show. Chatty Madi Monday is brought to you by Design Metal Art, located in Knoxville, Iowa. And as your season is wrapping up, it is time to thank your sponsors that make it all happen. With Press Racing, we have teamed up with Design Metal Art to make custom mini
many wing panels to thank our sponsors this season. They are about 18.5 inches by 8 inches. They are an incredible, great way to show your sponsors thanks for their support. It is extremely thick plastic that doesn't bend. It's great quality. You get that from Design Metal Art. You get a photo stand from Walmart that's 49 cents. And man, you've got something that they can proudly display at their office or branch or wherever they do, on their dining room table, wherever they want to display it. That's their choice. But you can reach out to them for the best custom apparel and Design Metal Art with Knoxville, Iowa's very own Design Metal Art. They also have poker chips that have been a huge success. You can see that there are QR codes that you can scan with your phone, and is an easy way to promote your company and business as well. Just head on over to Design Metal Art and tell them that Chatty Madi sent you. We hope to be back in 2026 for the Knoxville Nationals. We have already purchased our tickets. I hope you bought the tickets. We're not moving. Section U on the backstretch, 20 rows up, seats 20, 19, 18, 17, and 16. Those are our seats, probably until I produce Offspring, and then we will talk about what happens with those other tickets. If we start building a Rue clan around Knoxville. Would you ever go back?
I'd go back. Yeah, I'd go back. I mean, it'd be a nice opportunity to enjoy the Nationals. And I don't know if I like the backstretch or the front stretch. I think the backstretch was a little bit rowdier.
That's what we like.
Yeah, the front stretch was, I don't know, maybe we were just under the awning.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have too many obstructions. I think I might have been okay if I was even just a little bit lower without the obstructions.
Like on the line with the pillars. I gotcha.
Definitely the Knoxville is just they're one of one. You really don't have a bad seat. Mm-hmm. Even where we were with a minor obstruction of the grandstand, it was really good. So what I liked about the backstretch was you got a full view of what was happening, mm-hmm. and the front stretch, what was nice was it was a little different crowd, but either way, you can't go wrong at Knoxville.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved the backstretch rowdies. I love it so much. That is definitely where I will sit for a very long time. We'll jump right back to Wisconsin racing, but technically Minnesota racing, because this last weekend, Ryan Timms with a last lap pass for the Jackson Motorplex, $12,000 to win Bank Midwest Jackson Nationals. You could probably say that his middle name is Nationals. He has brought home a lot of crown jewels this year with his winning. He's just checking them off the list. He's only 18 years old. Congratulations to the entire Ryan Timms family. It was cool to meet you and be a part of the celebration on Saturday night. But man, what an absolute heartbreak for Austin McCarl.
Yeah, the cameras are for Flo are watching Austin as he ripped out a 2 and down the back stretch. And I noticed just at about halfway, that left rear tire suddenly went down. And I thought, oh no, it's gonna
pop.
And then I thought, well, I hope he's far enough ahead. Maybe he can still win. Man. Here I'm hoping he's gonna just bury the throttle and try to run on 3 wheels, just leaning on that right rear as hard as possible.
Right. But he was able to crutch to third, but man, I had the Sharpie in my hand to sign, making sure there's 2 C's in McCarl, and I looked up and Ryan Timms in the 10 had crossed the line. I didn't even see the tire blow until I saw McCarl come out of 4 at a slower pace. I thought maybe he had made contact with the wall and a rim was busted, but man, that tire was just flat. Maybe a failed bleeder or something with the 88 car, but man, what an absolute heartbreak for that and the entire McCarl racing team.
Can you imagine the people, Timms wasn't even in second. He was in third, wasn't he?
He was in second at that time after that restart with 5 to go. Okay.
All right. So when you see the tire go down, you could almost hear the chops being licked from second and third.
Right. Well, because it was his race. Thiel had led 1 lap. That was the only other competitor that had led laps, but it was Austin McCarl's race. And I know Ryan Timms acknowledged that in victory lane, that it was his race to win. And the tire was just an unfortunate position to put. To be just quite frank, it was just unfortunate. But we'll go back earlier in that night as well with kind of that last lap story. We had 35 sprint cars checked into the pit area. Jack Dover went fastest in Boxer Media Hot Laps, and Cam Martin and Ryan Timms grabbed the High Plains Building Division Quick Time Award in Carbon Safety Technologies qualifying. Heat races then belonged to Cam Martin, Jake Blackhurst, Austin McCarl, and Scotty Thiel, who was in that 7 ride this last weekend. And man, that 7 was hooked up on Jackson.
Yeah, when I was looking on my race pass and I noticed Scotty Thiel was there, and and driving a number 7.
Yeah, you're like, wait a second.
7.
Right?
So, but boy, I tell you what, hats off to that whole team and being able to make Scotty comfortable. And
Absolutely.
I don't know how many times he's been in the car, but I don't think it was very many.
One. That was one time,
right.
I think. But absolutely incredible the way that they performed. I know that car was set up for success at Jackson, even before Scotty got into that seat as well. We had mentioned those heat race winners, and then instead of going to a traditional IRA Sprint Car Series format with the Horizon Whiskey Dash redraw, they had a King of the Hill. And I cannot say enough how much I love this format. It is like a Chili Bowl meets Knoxville format, where Knoxville has those points and you face off via points. However, it is not a race against the competitor, it's a race against the clock. And I think that is the coolest thing ever. And man, it made for some good action for the first 4 rows.
Yeah, years ago, it wasn't that long ago, whenever there was a heat race or a duel, okay, they would start them off parallel coming out of 4. And I always thought to myself, well, that's nice, but then the first one to the first corner feels like it's
winner,
right. And so what I really liked about this approach was both people were on a clock.
Right.
And so you really you're racing each other, but you're really trying to get the right line and get as fast as you can around the track. Almost like a modified time trial. And so it really made for some fun, entertainment, because they were. You
had to wait until the last person crossed the line and look on the My Race Pass app to look who had won.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I think it adds to the interest of the event, because when they go head to head like that, maybe something happens in turn 1 and 2, and then it's kind of obvious who's going to win. But with this, it's all different.
All completely different, and it's anybody's game. We had IRA regulars actually take to that stage as well. Scotty Field performed really well. He started 3rd. Jake Blackhurst, I think, 4th. Right, we had IRA represent throughout that entire King of the Hill, but it was Austin McCarl and Cam Martin. Cam Martin lost by 3 thousandths of a second to Austin McCarl. What an impressive King of the Hill.
Faster than you can blink.
Absolutely. I think that's what Lauren had said. It was kind of incredible. Again, Cam had talked about how well his car was set up and how happy it was with it. And starting on the outside of Jackson, which was very dominant right along that fence there, was a good spot for him to start as well. Yeah,
the Jackson one was neat, was that guys were talking about how you had to kind of put fear to the wind and caution to the wind and right up on that wall. But, the track really came in.
I believe it did.
It was really good at the feature.
And they took some time to rework the track, which I think was an excellent call by Jackson Motorplex and its crew, because it was just excellent racing. With qualifying having to go right up on the fence, I think that was something that was not expected. But when they took the time, I think it was a 10-minute rework. It was really quick and simple. And man, did that rework that track, and it really just made it look great. It was the front row of the feature with 30 laps to decide who would win $12,000. Theo, Martin, and Timms would all kind of follow behind McCarl, which we mentioned earlier in our show, that he really had this one put away. And the only person that really had anything for McCarl until the end was Scotty Thiel at 7.
Yeah, I can't believe with all the successes that the McCarls have had that they were thinking about a blown tire.
Right.
Lots of times we talk offline about how when you're leading a race, everything is magnified. Every sound is magnified.
Right.
But he was just gone.
Right. He was checked out.
Yeah, he was gone.
We did draw out a red flag in turn number 3 for Christopher Trom and McCarl, who had spun and went end over. They both were able to walk out of the scene. Christopher Trom retired the car for the night, but I do believe that Carson McCarl rejoined the field. Then it would be 5 laps remaining, and McCarl's lead was gone with the wind, and it was Tim's 2nd, Thiel 3rd, and the rest of the competition that was fast behind him. McCarl again took off amazing. That restart was really good for the 88. I thought it was a signed, sealed, delivered deal. And man, again, just absolute heartbreak. Nobody would have called that out of turn number 3 in the apex of 3 and 4 for the tire to blow. That was crazy.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought, you don't see too many right and left rears go late in the race like that. Mm-hmm. You're expecting to see the right rear.
Right.
But and when it went down, it was just instantaneous. I saw it start to go down. I thought, oh, don't lose the tire.
Right.
Oh, no.
But like I had said, Ryan Timms had brought home that $12,000 payday. Scotty Thiel 2nd, Austin McCarl crutched that 88 to 3rd. Jack Dover 4th, Cam Martin 5th, Jake Blackhurst, Riley Goodnow, Sam Henderson, Colby Weichmeister, and 10th going to Scott Brody. Again, fantastic racing all weekend long. Unfortunately, we did lose Friday to rain as well, which just sucks. We have lost so many of those races to rain this season, which kind of brings me into my next series with the points shakeup, heading into Wisconsin Sprint Car Championship weekend. Yes, you've heard it. It is this Saturday, held at the Plymouth Dirt Track. This is a long-awaited Wisconsin Sprint Car Championship night this Saturday, September 27th at the Plymouth Dirt Track with 4 sprint car divisions, the 410 sprint cars with the IRA, the MSA and Plymouth MSA 360 sprints, the IRA wingless sprints, and the Lightning sprints, all racing under one night for Champ Night. We will crown 5 champions. Legit 5 champions, 4 divisions, the 360s crown a Plymouth and a series champion as well. But man, this is going to come down to the wire for some of our series with the wingless and the Lightning sprints. But Blake Niemi really has this one kind of under wraps as well. Blake Niemi has a 102-point lead over Jake Blackhurst. If you do the math, grab your spoons, wear your lucky underwear, do what you want to do before I say what I'm going to trigger warning. All he has to do is sign in, I think, and do decent. A perfect night is 140 points.
Okay.
Perfect night, or something along those lines. If he does well like he has done all season, the Blake Niemi that we know, to go to the feature, to do well in a heat race, to make it into the A, and have a solid night, he should bring home the championship. Should. I wear your spoons, put your socks on, do what you got to do.
What if I had my spoon on my nose?
I have no idea. What is the thing with the spoon? Do you know what it is?
No.
I have no idea. But we will release the points tomorrow with the IRA Sprint Car Series, but you can check them out at irasprints.com/standings. This is where it gets interesting, though. This is where it gets interesting. This is what we were talking about before the show. 102-point lead over the rest of the competition. The rest of the people, 2nd through 5th.
Yep.
Not even 50 points between them. So Jake Blackhurst 2nd. Jordan Goldsberry is 3rd. Jordan Goldsberry is only 13 points behind Jake Blackhurst. Logan Julian is in 4th. He is 1 point behind Jordan Goldsberry. Max Guilford, he has about 37 points behind Logan Julian. He's currently sitting 5th in IRA points. Scotty Neitzel, right? 6 and beyond, all the way backwards as well. Crazy. Few points separate between those drivers behind Blake Niemi.
Yeah, you know what's going to be interesting about this coming weekend is you're going to see hard racing all the way through.
Absolutely.
I know some people say, oh, Thomas, you always see hard racing all the way through. Well, yeah. Now, though, each point, each position is another opportunity to get a rung up. And how many times do you see cars in that, 5 to 6, 7 to 10, where they're only a point or 2 apart?
Right.
It's just amazing.
In the Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Car Series, we do see Adam Taylor on top of the points charts as well by 118 points over Tyler Cuxhouse and Tim Cox. Alan Hafford, Greg Alt, Ralph Johnson, George Gardner III, Bryce Andrews, Rusty Egan, and Dennis Spitz. The top 10 in the Wisconsin Wingless Sprints. Again, 18-point lead. You've talked about a pretty good night with the Wisconsin Wingless Sprints. If I head over to IRALightningsprints.com, you're going to check out the points race with this one. This one's close. 55 points separate Brian Strain Jr. and Chad Stouthammer. Nick Petska, the defending champ, is 3rd. Tucker Richards 4th, and Tim Branham 5th. This one could be anybody's game heading into Plymouth with only 55 points.
Yeah, how can you not enjoy a Saturday night, all sprint, all open wheel? This is one that if you've said, geez, I'd like to get to the races this year,
we'd love to have you.
This is the one.
This is definitely one that you should mark your calendar for. Again, this Saturday, September 27th, racing will begin at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you can't be there, you can watch it live on Flow Racing. But we implore you to please pack the house, grab a ticket, and watch outside with the Plymouth Dirt Track racing team as well. It's going to be a fantastic night.
Yeah, I was thinking back to the beginning of the season, that very first time. I'm not sure if it was at Plymouth, but I remember it at Plymouth, that you hear the 410s and the 360s pop off for the first time, and here we are. It's the end of the season.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe from April to now at the end of September. It's just so crazy. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
But that does it here for Chatty Madi Monday, Season 5, Episode 14. I put Season 4. That's wrong. Oopsie. I'll look in our comments here too. Hi, John. Happy Monday. Can't go to Plymouth for the last race, but cool. Going to LaSalle and Angel Park for the Outlaws. Watching from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi, Chuck. Hi, Marie. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Scott. Hi, Chantel. Thanks for watching, everybody. We are super excited to be back here for Chatty Madi Monday, Season 5. Season 5. Oh, I can't believe I put a 4 on my live title. That's what happens when you're not looking at your fingers when you type and you just type. We will see you back here next week, Monday, for the finale of Season 5. Chatty Madi Monday, brought to you by Design Metal Art. Thank you so much for being a part of our Monday night. We will see you at Plymouth this weekend. Thanks, guys.